because nobody is going to ask you how much marks you scored in your mock test, but the thing which is going to be asked is that how much marks you scored in your BITSAT exam, in your final exam. So namaste dosto, in this video we are going to dive deep into the topic of revision and mock test. In my very last video, one of you asked a very similar question to me and I found more than 30-40 likes on that comment, that how we have to do revision and how we can be sure that we can start giving the mock test from now. At what point we should start giving the mock test. For example, if a guy X has completed just 30% of his syllabus, so should he start giving his mock test or should he wait to complete his syllabus to some more percentage, to some more extent, and then he should start? So we are going to dive deep into this topic. We are going to see how you have to make notes, how you have to make, basically how you have to do revision of the topics for which you would require notes, basically the topics in which you have to learn a lot of things, most of the chapters of inorganic you can say. Secondly, how you have to revise the topics which are more numerical based, more of calculation based. For example, you can say chapters like chemical kinetics, electrochemistry, conic sections, calculus. Basically it will cover all the chapters of physics and physical chemistry. Thirdly, at what frequency you have to revise these chapters. This is also one of the very important things and one of the, you can say, very ignorant thing which generally people ignore and don't ask. I haven't seen a comment before this asking me that at how much frequency, after how much days we should revise a chapter, we should revise a concept which we studied few days back. So we are also going to discuss that here, and in the end about the mock test, that how many times you have to give mock test in a week and after how much time of a preparation we should start giving our mock test. So we would be covering all these things. You would also find the timestamps in the description below as well as in the comment pinned by me in the comment section. So let's get started. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to it, press the bell icon, hit the like button before you leave and share it with your friends. So let's get started. So coming on to the very first point, how one should revise a chapter which involves a lot of learning part. There are a hell lot of chapters in your inorganic chemistry, starting directly from S block to P block, D block, F block. Coordination compounds is there. Then there is metallurgy, which involves a lot of cramming of concepts. And not only in inorganic, even in the organic section, in the second part of your class 12 NCERT, you would find that there are two chapters in the end of the book, biomolecules as well as chemistry in everyday life, which involves a lot of learning of the things, a lot of examples, a lot of structures. So basically how you have to revise those chapters and how you have to prepare those chapters basically, right? So for all these chapters you have to make sure that you have a proper notes with you, because when we would be sitting just 3-4 days before our BITSAT exam or any exam, JEE Mains, JEE Advanced, any exam of that sort, when we would be having just 3-4 days left with us, the main thing is, the main focus of ours should be at this point of time that how we are gonna revise these many chapters, these so lengthy chapters at that point of time. Because no matter how much time we are taking right now to revise those chapters, but the thing is that we always forget it. Like, it's very obvious. No matter how many times you have read it, you can't be 100% excellent in that. You are bound to forget one thing or the other. So the basic target should be to make such notes so as to help you, so as to aid you revise the complete chapter in the minimum amount of time and in the best possible way. So for that, for the revision of such chapters which require a lot of learning part, you have to make proper notes. You have to build up notes. And if you want to see that how you should build up notes, what should be the main criteria, what all things you should mark in your notes, how you have to segregate the different sections, I recently made a video some days back on the biggest mistake which children do while making the short notes. So kindly have a look at this. You will also find that in the description as well as in the I button. So that was for the inorganic part, basically for the cramming section. Coming on to the second part, which is the numerically oriented chapters, the calculated chapters. For example, thermodynamics is there, chemical kinetics is there, electrochemistry is there. In mathematics, all the chapters are like this. Physics also, almost all the chapters are like this. So how you have to study it? So basically you need to realize that for such chapters which involves a lot of formulas, a lot of concepts and a lot of calculations, and the questions are majorly of the numerical type, in those chapters you just have to make notes, you just have to do revision of the formulas as well as the concepts. That's it. Now let me explain it to you in a little more brief. You just have to write down all the formulas, all the concepts which are there and which are involved in the chapter. Only that would be sufficient for incorporating in the notes. So this is the very first step for revising such chapters. Once you have learned all the formulas, once you have learned all the concepts, then the next step is to go on to problem solving. Then the next step is to move on directly to the solving of the questions, maybe of past years, maybe from the material, coaching material which you are currently having, maybe from some refresher book like Arjun Bitsat Guide or Disha Publication Guide, anywhere. But the next step is surely going to be the problem solving step. You can't afford to give a lot of time to just learning of the formulas and learning of the concepts. I know those are important. Those are pretty important, because if you do not know a formula or if you do not know how to apply a concept into a numerical problem, then you can't just keep on practicing questions, right? So once you complete revising, you complete learning all the formulas, just try to get it as fast as possible. Move fastly to the problem solving part. The revision of such chapters which include numerical cognitive ability and calculation must be 90%, you can say, practicing of problems, and just 10% of the revising of your calculations, formulas, and the revising of the concepts. Because if you are not doing practice, then there are high chances that you may encounter a question in your BITSAT exam or in any exam for that matter whatsoever that you are not able to solve, not because your concepts are weak, not because you forgot the formula, but because you haven't practiced that much so as to figure out the way of how to solve that problem. Okay, so here practice is hell lot of important. 90% of the time you should devote to practicing of the concepts while revising the chapters which involve a lot of calculation part and a lot of numericals, formulas and all, right? Now the third and one of the very important things, one of the major things which was asked in that comment was, what should be the revision frequency? After how many days should I revise my concept? After how many days I should revise all the chapters which I did, for example, 1 week ago? So there is a very simple answer to that question. Point number 1, for the chapters which involve formulas and numerical part as major, you do not have to revise it much frequently, because if you know the formula, if you know the concepts, then you are pretty confident and comfortable in applying it to the numerical concepts and the numerical questions. Okay, so even if you are not revising it, after more than 2 weeks, there are chances that you will be able to solve the question if you encounter one in your exam. But for the chapters which involve a lot of learning part, all those chapters which are listed in the inorganic section and the organic chapters, last 2 sections, those you have to make sure that you are revising at least twice per week. Now that's a specific reason behind that, why you should be revising these chapters with so much frequency, with so high frequency. The basic reason, very simple. The reason is that the more you will revise, the more confident you will get, the better they will get embedded in your brains, and the chances would be less that you forget any concept from that chapter if you confront a question in your exam. So just in a nutshell, talking about the frequency of revision, for the chapters which involve a lot of learning part, you should revise the chapters at least twice in 1 week, and that revision should be completely from your notes. You should not go to the NCERT every time. That's why the significance of notes is immense at this point of time, when we have very less time period left with us. Only around 2 months is there, so you should make notes and you must revise your chapters from your notes only. And for the chapters which involve calculation, formulas, numericals as the major thing in them, you just have to make sure that you are not forgetting the formulas, because if you know the formula, then there are high chances that you would be able to solve the question if you encounter one in your exam. So now coming on to the very last question, when you should start giving your mock test. So there may be different opinions from others, but in my books, what I did, I'm just going to tell you that if you feel that it's going to work for you, it is working for you, then you can apply for you and you can continue doing with it. What I did was, my JEE Advanced exam was on 20th of May, BITSAT was on 26th of May, and I almost finished with my syllabus on around 1st or 2nd May. So for the next 20 days till my JEE Advanced, or for 25 days before my BITSAT exam, I continued solving mock test paper again and again. I daily solved around 1 paper, but only after I completed my syllabus. When I was left with even 10% of my syllabus, I didn't go to solve the mock test, because I knew there was in my mind this thing that I won't be able to score my I won't be able to score at my full potential if I'm attempting a paper without fully confident without fully equipped with the weapon of all the chapters. Okay, this is a very basic thing. I think you all must have realized by this point of time that if your syllabus is not completed, then you can't score as much as you can in your mock test. So why to waste time upon giving the mock test? In those 3 hours, one can easily cover 1 or 2 chapters. Okay, so at this point of time, when we have very less time with us, rather than going to mock test, first of all try to cover your syllabus. First of all try to complete all the chapters which are there in your syllabus. That is very, very important, because nobody is going to ask you how much marks you scored in your mock test, but the thing which is going to be asked is that how much marks you scored in your BITSAT exam, in your final exam. And that score is completely going to depend upon your level of preparation and upon your syllabus completion. If you have completed the syllabus, you would surely be having an extra edge over others who have not completed all the chapters. Okay, so you can go for at least 1 mock test in 1 week, and you can even go for more if you have completed your syllabus. One more thing I would like to share with you is that many people find sitting continuously for 3 hours during mock test very tiring, and they say that we are not able to concentrate, we are not able to 100% efficiently solve a paper for the complete time period of 3 hours, right? So what I used to do was I broke down those 3 hours into 1 hour slot. Like I didn't attempt any time. I never attempted the mock test for 3 hours at a stretch. I just used to take out one section, put up a timer of 1 hour and completely solve that portion. For example, if I am going to attempt the mock test paper of JEE Mains, I would take out maths. I would start doing paper, for example, at 9 AM. So I would put a timer, put an alarm at 10 AM. I would start practicing all the questions. After how many questions I have not attempted, how many questions I have done silly mistake. Basically analysis of the paper. After 1 hour, if I feel I can go for physics section or chemistry section, or if I do not want to give basically another section, I can just directly go to my study desk and start preparing the chapters which I have not done correctly in the mathematics section. So basically this helps one to concentrate during the mock test which you are giving, and it also don't become very tiresome, very burdensome, because I have seen many of the people saying to me that Bhaiya, I have given 1 mock test today, and because of that I am feeling very much fatigued, I am feeling very much tired, and because of that I am not able to concentrate, I am not able to study well. So what's the use, what's the benefit of giving such a paper which is dropping your confidence, which is demotivating you, and also which is not allowing you to study for the rest of the day? So the basic thing is, you can also try it yourself. If you feel this is working for you, just continue with it. Try to give different sections of the paper for 1 hour each, rather than going for the paper at a 3 hour stretch. Okay, so this was the video which many of you demanded me, and I think I have satisfactorily covered all the topics. I must have cleared all your doubts. If anything still remains, please let me know in the comment section below. I would be glad, I would be more than happy to help you out with all the queries. If you want me to make a video on any other topic, any other thing which you want me to brief you about, just write it down in the comment section. If you will get the highest number of likes among all the comments, I will surely be coming up with that topic in my subsequent videos. And so let's meet in the next video. If you are new to our channel, please consider subscribing it, press the bell icon, hit the like button, share it among your friends, and stay home, stay safe. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.